is involving members for long-term commitment. And we all desire to have long-term commitment. I am Demetrius Harrell from District 5910, past district governor and incoming Zone Rotary Membership Coordinator. And I am excited to have each of you here. I want to thank all of our panelists that will be coming up, our moderator, and especially those who are working behind the scenes to make this monthly webinar a success. And so now what I would like to draw your attention to is a poll question from last month's webinar. So let's see that poll question pop up. And here it is. You have time. Did you discover at least one new idea that could increase your club's retention rate? We are excited about membership, and we know that Rotary has an action plan that we all are invested in. We want to make that impact, but we cannot do that without the wonderful members that we have, not only in our Zone 25B and 29, but around the world. And so look, yes, I am so excited that 88% of you did at least one new idea. And I would love for you all to take time and consideration that we today are going to be looking at the chat, and you will be able to provide us insight. So leave messages, leave comments, and leave attributes in our chat. This webinar will also be recorded, and so we want you to share it with all of your friends. I'm going to share with you a couple of things just to get us started about membership and the importance thereof. So now we'll move to my presentation. Pulling up that PowerPoint now. And so again, welcome to all of you who has joined us today, and making sure that you have an opportunity to share all of the great attributes that will be coming from our line of distinguished guests and panelists. Our next slide. Here, this is going to be our focus for our incoming year. We want to also acknowledge that we have had some impeccable leadership, and I want to thank our current Rotary coordinator, Alex Johnson, for all of the work that he has done and continues to do to help leave a legacy and paving the way. But our focus for our year coming before us, we know it won't be long. We're going to be in Calgary celebrating this year, but also preparing the launch for our 25-26 year. The number one thing that I want you to make sure you're putting a major check is implementation of our membership plan. Everyone should have a map, a membership action plan that helps provide you with the guidance and assistance of what your objectives will be in the upcoming year. We also want to recognize the resources that we have available through each and every one of our assistant Rotary membership coordinators. We have an exciting year, and we have 11 powerful assistants. And so you will be seeing their information, and it will be shared and coming out to you. We also want to engage members in your membership planning. How can we help to enhance what you're already doing to grow membership, sustain the rate that we are, and also retain those valuable members that we have? Curate a culture of planning and leadership continuity. You know, what would it be if we didn't have the succession plan established? As a past district governor, I know that I have some exciting news to share, and that is that we have wonderful mentors across our zone to support. But we know it is not only an area of focus that we have to know what to do to grow our membership, but it is going to require some work. So implementing the process of the wonderful roadmap that we have and the Olympics. So we're going to spend time to show you how to effectively reach that level of success. And I know one of our panelists has great news because she was able to accomplish all of those great things. Our next slide. Did you know? Did you know that approximately 50% of all terminations are members for less than 3 years? We've got to make sure that we retain those vital, exciting, robust members that are coming in, and we've got to shut that door so that they are not going out. Over 10% of new members leave within the same year of joining. We have to ask questions. We have to use those resources like the health check. Why are members not staying? Well, they are wanting to leave a lasting impression and impact, and we have to give them work to do because 20% of all districts have not chartered a new club in at least 5 years. So we have to work together to ensure that we start that charter. Our next slide. Think about all those did you know. Now, in our membership action plan, one, we want to set your membership goals. So we want to make sure that our assistant Rotary membership coordinators are working with the DMCs to ensure that we have goals and make sure as clubs you are already effectively impacting by making sure you have appointed a DMC, a district membership chair for those clubs and those districts. We want to make sure we have membership chairs in our clubs, but also in our districts. We want to identify your membership growth problems. What problems do you have with attraction, attrition, and action? But we also want to come right back and examine the recommended growth strategies. And we're going to talk more about this along the way throughout our year about those growth strategies because membership matters. Let's go to our next slide and look at some of those things we can do to stimulate growth. Well, one, enhance visibility and branding. And guess what? Some of what we're going to do, even with this webinar, is we're going to start branding. We're going to make sure that we're putting out publications, and we want you to share it. We're going to raise and elevate the number of people we are impacting because we want you to every single week to think about how many people you can send the link to. Let's get those people starting to register now. Diversify our membership. Diversity in membership is what has made us a national and international brand. Engage within your community. You know, partnerships really matter. Just like we have partnered with Toastmaster, you can do those things right in your community. Offer meaningful service opportunities. Who doesn't love an opportunity to work in their community and make a difference? One Rotarian and one member at a time. Innovate meeting formats. Nothing has to be the same. Don't think it's all about tradition. Let's make those people feel that they have just walked into a new zone of creativity and innovation. Develop leadership and mentor programs. That's another thing that you're going to see within our assistant Rotary membership coordinators. They are going to be there to lead, guide, and support you through the action that you're doing and come out to your clubs and your districts. Strengthen those partnerships, focus on member recognition, leverage your Rotary resources and programs, but let's also make sure right now that we're setting clear growth goals to monitor our progress. Our next slide. Now, I want you to know that stimulation is great, but let's be intentional. Seek to implement the Rotary Action Plan. Increase your impact, expand your reach, enhance participant engagement, and increase your ability to adapt. You see, I see that every single time I meet a new Rotarian. They are increasing my impact, the impact that they have on me and the impact that they have on their club, their district, and Rotary International. In your club, in your district, and in your zone. Let's be intentional. Let's write that down as a memento for right now. Let's go to our next slide. Now, we know that we can't make everything happen overnight, but we have great initiatives. We have set the tone, and we will master the objective, and that is to grow so that we roll into the sunset with new individuals, opportunities, and adventures. So let's take this journey together and get ready to roll with Zone 25B and 29 membership. What is your roadmap? Have you began to design the destination that you anticipate to travel in 25 and 26? Roll with us. The Rotary membership coordinators are ready to take you on a journey that will last for a lifetime. And that is what I have done, is I have taken the opportunity to not only see the vision, but take opportunity to know the reality. And that is the change makers through every single Rotarian that I meet. So now I want to turn it over to our great moderator, who is also one of my class members. Adi, come aboard and continue to travel in time, involving members for long-term commitment. You're going to hear some amazing individual panelists now. Thank you. And I'll see you in a bit.
Well, thank you, our Zone Rotary membership coordinator-elect, my wonderful classmate. Let's roll along. I am so excited. What an impactful presentation. So back to our topic as introduced by our host this evening, involving members for long-term commitment. We're going to be talking about the action plan for success, that Rotary action plan, strategies for retaining members, growing communities, and combining retention and growth. We have three wonderful panelists who are going to share with you their ideas and talk about using these plans into repeatable action plan that can sustain growth. Our first panelist is Bruce Nearwood, and Bruce is going to talk about what they've done with surveys, knowing what your members think and what they want. That's how you retain them. So Bruce, come on aboard. Let's talk about this. Thank you.
Well, hello, everyone. As you said, my name is Bruce Nearhood. I'm the current district governor and governor-elect for District 5610. I've been a member of Rotary for 38 years, and I am fortunate to be a member of the Rapid City Rushmore Morning Club. I'm going to be talking about things that makes, I feel, our club irresistible, and ideas that I've acquired over the years that you can use in your clubs and districts. At the current time, our district is up about 20 members over last year, and if we end the year that way, we will have positive membership growth for 2 years in a row. And much of our success is owed to our district membership committee. They have put together 10 steps for clubs to follow to get new members and to keep their existing members. They talked about each club having a +1 year with membership, and they did a great job of regularly sending out information to the clubs to keep membership on their minds. My club has had a strategic plan for many years and enters goals into Club Central. This helps us to quantify the impact that we have on our community and the projects that we do. It also helps us determine what projects we continue to do or we stop doing. And if you don't set your goals in Club Central, all you have are hopes and dreams. We do at least 2 club surveys a year. This helps us make sure that we are being relevant in our community and our club. And if you want to make change in your club, it's easier when everybody knows how other members feel instead of a couple of members trying to control the direction of the club. I also tell the clubs in the district that they don't need to do everything alone to expand their reach. Part of their club's goal should be to act as a catalyst in their community to bring people together in order to do more than their club can do alone. Our club currently has over 90 members, and we have seen about a 10 to 15% growth in membership this year. And one of the big reasons we had positive growth was that we started a companion club that brought in 10 new members and helped us keep 3 of our existing members. Their goal is to double the club by the end of the next fiscal year. I'm encouraging just about all the clubs in my district to start a companion club. Because many clubs meet at noon, it is difficult for those who are early in their career to make meetings or simply can't get away at that time of the day. Having a meeting at 5:30 in the evening has shown to work well for many people. These clubs are typically meeting 2 times a month and are much more project focused. To start a companion club, you need a champion from the host club to help them get started. And don't plan on making a clone of your club. You need to let them run the club as they want to. It's a part of your club, but it meets at a different time and probably will have a totally different vibe and purpose. The people you are looking for are those who can't meet at the time your club usually meets, and those who share our value of service above self. How they accomplish that is up to them. To successfully engage your members, it's important for your club to have as many projects as you can. People don't want to join a club that simply gets together for a meal and then goes home. They want to join a club that is doing something. Don't you? There are a number of ways to make sure that your members are engaged. One is to do a club health check that is available on the Rotary website. You can use parts of this for your surveys, but you don't want to send out the whole survey because you won't get any back. It's too long and detailed. Another exercise that I will be having my assistant governors do for each of their clubs is a SWOT analysis. And for those of you not familiar with it, it stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. This is a great tool to use at a club assembly or at a club meeting. You start by simply listing your club's strengths and weaknesses, and then looking at external and internal opportunities and threats. Make sure you make it a safe zone so you get honest answers. And by doing this exercise, you find out what direction your club should be moving or projects that your members don't want to do. The analysis may also show that your club doesn't look like your community. Maybe you need more females in your club or younger members. And when we talk about engaging our members, I think we also need to talk about the benefits that our members receive by being a Rotarian. As a Rotarian, they are a part of something much bigger than themselves. They are making a global impact, they are helping their communities, and they're developing leadership and planning skills. What other organization in the world is eradicating a disease like polio? Where else can you use a passion you have for, say, water, and use that passion to provide clean drinking water for a village in Africa? Or help clean up a river that is putting 3% of the plastic into our oceans, or make it possible for a widow in India to learn how to sew and provide a sewing machine to her so she can make a living. The next generation is looking to improve their leadership and planning skills, and we can help them do that. But in order to do that, we need to step aside and let them go. We may need to let them make mistakes and then help them correct it with no judgment. We have to be willing to try something new. We have to be willing to embrace change in order to stay relevant. If we don't, our clubs will die. As a district governor, I encourage every club to have at least 2 to 4 opportunities per month for its members to participate. I've also suggested some micro projects that clubs can complete at a meeting. For example, bringing old flower vases to a meeting and then fill them with flowers to take to a nursing home. Or maybe you're just making sandwiches for a food program. Providing these sorts of activities at a club meeting provides an opportunity for those members who can't make the outside projects to participate. And a mistake I think some clubs make is not making a big deal about a new member. You need to have them tell you about themselves. And don't wait for them to talk to you. Ask them to sit at your table and tell you about themselves. Have them plan a new project they are passionate about and then support them with it. You know, there are two main reasons why people join a service organization. It's service and friendship. And there are two main reasons why people stay in these organizations. It's friendship and service. When you get a new member, you need to ask them this question, and please write this down. What do you want to get out of being a member? What do you want to get out of being a member? And then you need to make sure that they get it. Our club works hard at getting new members involved in the club right away, which I think helps for long-term engagement of them. All new members are required to complete a list of activities in order to get their permanent badge. They need to get signed into Rotary's website and our district website. They take courses in the Learning Center, and they serve as a greeter at least 3 times. They are required to join at least one committee, and we tell them we expect 60% attendance. They are assigned a mentor who meets with them for at least the first 6 months and has a list of subjects that they cover during that time. And then 2 times a year, we have a Saturday morning meeting for new members where we cover information about Rotary International and leadership. We are trying to reduce the length of time it takes for members to understand what Rotary is all about. And we have a lot of fun at our club meetings. We play a few games and we do happy bucks. And they say that one of the factors that leads to member satisfaction is having an engaging club meeting. So what could you do to make your club meetings more fun? How about a table talk? Give each table a topic to talk about 5 minutes. What's the story behind a scar you have? What's one thing nobody knows about you? And if there's time, tell the club some of the responses. And another thing is having existing members do a 3-minute talk about themselves so that new members know about them. And we are fortunate that our club is willing to adapt to change. Great clubs don't happen by chance, and they have to change in order to grow. We look for new projects, new social activities to get to know members, and an opportunity to invite guests to see what we do. And finally, I'm speaking to the incoming presidents. You were elected to lead, so lead. Don't be a placeholder, be a change maker. Thank you.
Thank you, Bruce. Very specific strategies and the intentionality of service and friendship, working to retain members, making sure that you find out what do they want to get as a member, and making sure that they get it. The group that plays together stays together. So thank you for that. And kudos to your district membership committee for working a plan and sticking with it. Thank you. So now I'm bringing a second panel. Oh, actually, let's go to the poll. I have a poll question. Poll question: does your club conduct surveys? Yes, no, and let us know if you don't know. As you've heard, you need to know what your members want. You can't find out by osmosis. You need to ask them. And then once you found out what they want, then set about making sure that you engage them in putting that into action. Now we have 78% that actually survey. Very good. 20% that don't. Well, it matters. We need to know what our members want. Thank you for that. Now, our clubs do have their ups and downs, and so many different ways that you can go with a plan. But if you have a plan, it could fail if the members are not engaged. Now, we'll have Crystal, who's going to come in and talk to us about how you leading and growing through resistance. Welcome, Crystal.
Thank you so much. I am President Crystal Bates, current president of Capel Rotary Club. We are in District 5810 in Texas. And I would like to say I'm going to use some of the things that Bruce shared as a segue going in to my discussion. One thing that stood out when Bruce was talking, was sharing, is that having a few people controlling the direction and trying to preserve their power, how that resistance can sometimes make a club stagnant, and it can prevent a club from progressing. And so I definitely want to share some tips and some of the things that I was able to implement, but then I also want to be transparent, and I hope to help some other presidents currently or those that are coming in that may deal with some of the things that I have dealt with. And it has been quite challenging just due to having that small group of people that were trying to maintain their power, trying to hang on to the status quo. Our club has had very, very little growth in the last 6 or 7 years. And so coming in, currently leading and presiding as president over 3 different organizations, I was definitely not looking for accolades, needing titles, or any other anything else on my resume. So basically, when I come into an organization, I come in with the intent of actually progressing the club or the organization and adding value to it. And so with this particular club, over the years, like I said, we'd had little growth, and then we'd had several members who complained, because normally in your club or any organization you probably have about 10 or 20% that actually do all the work. And so we've heard phrases that I'm worn, I'm beat, I'm tired, I want to transition over. So I knew that was important to bring in other members to try to relieve and not wear out the faithful few. My second goal was to increase not only our membership, but also to bring in another stream of income. We were dependent heavily on our flag program. And then I also wanted us to be able to upgrade our flag program software that we were using, because that particular software was a little outdated. And so I thought that was very important as well. And then also to incorporate more socials. And most importantly, because Rotary is the absolute best and largest and oldest service organization in the world, I wanted us to be able to increase our service projects and diversify them as well. But in doing so, unfortunately, I have dealt with unspeakable resistance. And to try not to use other words, I'm just going to say biased, very intentional bias. And so you can read between the lines and use whatever vocabulary words you want to use. But it has been very challenging. If I was to tell you how many times I have heard the word, we don't know these people, throughout my term, because when I set membership to be one of my number one goals, I will say at this point, we have successfully grown the club 68%. We came in, I came in with 25 members. We're up to about 42 now, I believe. So there has been 68% growth. Right now, I've submitted already 10 more new members, but there has been a refusal to approve those members again because of this phrase, we don't know these people. And so again, read between the lines. And unfortunately, I think over the years that has caused some stagnation of the club, and it's not welcoming. It definitely doesn't align with what Rotary International or our district or what the organization is pushing across the board. Again, they have a whole webinar series that's talking about membership. So it's definitely a priority for Rotary to grow the club. So if you're in a club and dealing with such resistance that I have mentioned or alluded to, you've got to figure out how to lead in spite of. I was determined not to allow my entire term fighting with those trying to hold on to their power and the status quo. I believe in Rotary. Again, I have other roles and leadership roles that I play, other things that I do. So I had an intentional goal, and I wanted to make sure that my time wasn't wasted and to do the things that I set to do, because they were going to strengthen the club, they were going to grow the club and allow us to uplift the amazing mission of Rotary, which I just think, like, our focus this year has been the magic of Rotary, and I just think Rotary is absolutely magical. And so doing that, once I was able to get past all of the resistance and ugliness, and I mean, we've had members that have come in and just felt like they weren't guests, that felt like they weren't welcome due to that small group of people. But we were able to move past that. And again, as I stated, we've had 68% growth. Not only that, I was able to change the encourage them to upgrade the software for our flag program. And then we also were able to implement more service projects and more socials where we hadn't been having those. So I want to share with you all just quickly a couple of things that I think are very important that definitely lead to growth. Not only have I implemented them within Rotary, but I've implemented them in other organizations, and it has been successful. We all need an elevator speech to tell why you love Rotary. Even in our meetings, we have a segment where I invite current members to come up and talk about why they love Rotary. They get 2 or 3 minutes. And it always makes it very personable for those that are there. So always have a elevator speech, why you love Rotary, why you're a part of Rotary. Also creating opportunities for growth. In our PowerPoint slide during every single meeting, I say, take out your camera. So no one has to depend on their mind to remember, but I have all the different committees and opportunities where not only current members can get involved, but prospective members can see how they will be able to get involved, and new members. And so I even invite our prospective members to volunteer and get involved, even within the meeting. They may lead the pledge or something, but I engage them early on, even before they're actually a member. The sooner you engage a member, the more likely they're going to stay engaged. They're going to stay being a part of the Rotary family, and they're going to be a valuable asset to that club and the things that that club is trying to accomplish. Also, I invite and encourage all members. Rotary, the membership goal should not depend on one person. It should be the entire club. So I was constantly asking people to bring a guest to every single meeting. And so that was very important. And then we have these QR codes that we had in our slides, where we would engage and ask everybody to scan, because that would link them to our club website, the district website, and Rotary International. Also, I have a QR code on a business card that I'm able to hand out and leave with people so that they can find out when we meet and other things that we have going on in the community. And as I said earlier, assimilating people into the life of Rotary as soon as possible is so important. And then just personalizing their journey, engaging them in spaces that are passionate for them, providing opportunities for social events, providing opportunity for service events, and also our meetings, and engaging them in all of those aspects definitely lead to growth of the club. We also have something where I do trivia, because a lot of people may have been in Rotary a while and not actually know some of the facts about Rotary. So we have a fun thing. We do Rotary trivia at the end of our meetings, and I give away a little gift, and that also engages people and gets them excited. Making sure our club is intentionally making our club vibrant, I do think has impacted our growth as well. And then one of our members developed a platform where our new members could sign in and join our mailing list. So therefore, that was on all of our QR codes and on our slides. So they were able to get notices as to when we were having socials in the community, events in the community, and inviting them to engage in our service projects. So implementing all of those things helps us focus on putting service above self and uplifting the mission of Rotary.
Thank you very much, Crystal. Geez. Appreciate your talking through the various strategies of leading in spite of resistance and how you work your way through that, and getting the members engaged, leading to a vibrant club. And we keep telling people, bring a friend. Bring a friend, show them what you love so much. And that's very good. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Please keep an eye on the Q&A. For those people who are on the webinar, put your questions in the Q&A and our panelists will respond. And if there's a prevailing topic, we might talk about that at the end, towards the end here. So moving on, and we're bringing in our final panelists. Amy will be talking to us about membership engagement, helping retention and growth, working on retention and growth. So she has a pedigree on membership. So come on, PDG Amy.
I don't know about a pedigree, but my name is Amy Kilgore. I'm from District 5910. I am the current district membership chair, and I'm also here as an assistant Rotary Public Image Coordinator for our Region 36. I want you to stop and think for a minute about why you joined Rotary. Is it why you are still here? And what makes you come back every week to your club? I was at a training recently, and the gentleman said, you know, we need to build relationships before we build projects. And I think that is so very important to think about. Our member experience is public image, and public image is the way we view our clubs, the way we view our district, and the way the outside world views us. And so when people come to visit us or show up at our door because they want to get a little taste of what we have to offer, we have to make sure we're always putting our best foot forward. I want you to stop and think about your club as a business. It's not a club. We are selling something, and what we are selling is service to mankind through the best service organization in the world. And so I want you to think, when you went to work, wherever you work, or if you were the business owner, or before you retired, if that's the case, what was one of the first things that happened after you got hired? Just think for a minute. The first thing that happened for you was orientation, right? That's when you went to your place of employment and they told you what the expectations look like. They told you when they wanted you to be there, what they expected you to wear, what you were going to do, and how to manage all of that. And I want you to think about, when does orientation happen in your business, your club? Sometimes it happens immediately, not very often. Sometimes we wait to orient our members maybe 3 months in, whole year in. I think I got a couple members in my club that haven't been oriented ever, and they've been in there for years. Like, that's not the way that we run a business. So let's try to be intentional about how we are making sure our members understand the way we function as a club, and even rolling up into districts and challenge your district. Are you offering, as my district, orientation? I will tell you, in 5910, we are not doing a good job of that, but that is one thing that we are charged with changing for the next year. Also, when you think about your clubs and in business, I want you to recruit your members intentionally. I want you to go out and I want you to look and think about who in your community is not there and who needs to be represented in your club, and make sure that you're diversifying age and experience and vocations, right? Because we want all of these people to help us come together to serve our communities. But we're thinking about what makes people want to come back. They want to be recognized for the time and talent that they bring to our table to serve. And so how are we doing that? Are we recognizing our members that have been in our clubs for a long time? I was just looking at one of the clubs in my district the other day, and they recognized a member who has been in that club for 54 years. Half of a century this gentleman has spent serving the exact same club. And we need to celebrate that and helping to celebrate all of those people. Demetrius mentioned earlier that 50% of the people who leave our clubs left within those first 5 years or so. Did we celebrate all the things that they did that were great for us in that time that they were there? Think about, too, celebrating the things that your members are doing outside of your club. Was somebody in your club just honored by the local chamber as an Athena recipient? Celebrate that. Celebrate their vocational service as well as their service to your clubs. Think about, how do you help grow your members personally and professionally, right? We all came to Rotary as leaders, and I want to serve my community, but I also went to my club because there were people in there that I admired for their leadership skills, and I want to be able to learn from them as well. And are we providing those types of opportunities of mentorship in that way and to grow? And, also thinking about your club, are there leadership opportunities within the club or to learn more about our organization? Does your club have the capacity to sponsor one of your members or some of your members to attend a training like Rotary Leadership Institute, whether it is locally or in one of these that have been able to do virtually? These are all important. Another thing that's important to being able to keep our members is to create that supportive and inclusive environment. Think about what Crystal was just telling us about the struggles that she has within her own club, she's intentional about bringing in members, and then you have people who feel like they don't belong. And so in Rotary, I want you to understand that Rotary does have a DEI policy. And in our current state of affairs in the United States, DEI can be a dirty word. But let me make it very simple for you. Our Rotary International policy says, if you have a heart for service, we have a place for you. In my district, I talk about clubs like shoes. We have lots of shoes for people to buy, but not every shoe is what I need in the moment. Right now, I'm wearing a pair of sandals that are really cute with some rhinestones, but that may not work for the outfit Demetrius is wearing today. And she wants to wear a pump, or you want to wear a loafer. Clubs are like that. We shop around to find the shoe that meets our needs in this moment. And when I want to go and buy another pair of shoes because my shoes have worn out, I may go back and buy another pair of similar rhinestone sandals, but I might decide I need a pair of tennis shoes. And that is okay, as long as we're all shopping from the same store, and that is our Rotary store. And so if there is not a club that fits some people that are coming to your club to visit, or maybe their personalities just don't jive well, or maybe the day and time is wrong, help them find a club that fits their needs. Use your district resources to be able to do that. And that may mean getting to know other clubs in your district or calling on leaders to help find them, or start a new club or help them to start a new club. Your club can help charter a new club and mentor them to help build another great opportunity for service in your community. Sometimes people think having multiple clubs in a same town or same area can be like conflicting or a challenge or like a battle, but that's not it. It's an opportunity for more people to serve, because not everybody can come on Thursdays at noon. Some of them need that evening meeting. Some of them need a morning meeting. And so giving more opportunities is wonderful, because we just want more people shopping from our shoe store. And let's see, what else? And thinking back about what Bruce said earlier, when we're looking at surveying our members and understanding what they need and want, it's more than just doing the surveys. It's then taking that information and acting on it and taking those things to heart. If your club is doing a project and you've been doing it forever and it's tradition, but nobody's showing up to support it, maybe it's time to let that go. And you will only know that when you go through those surveys and you can take to heart what's happening. Thank you guys for your time. And if you get nothing else, remember, let's start treating our clubs like a business.
Wow, thank you, Amy. I mean, this has just been great. All three panelists have hit the ball clear, and Amy's batted cleanup, reminding us of several items. One, Rotary is the leader in the world. We have a policy on DEI. Does your club look like your community? Who's missing at your table? Need to invite them there. Be intentional about it. What makes people want to come back? Recognizing your members, celebrating your members. Appreciation impels us to even do better things and do greater things, celebrating them inside and outside the club, providing opportunities for mentorship, leadership opportunities. And she also reminded us about our partnership with Toastmasters. Most of us don't use that. That's an asset. That's something you can give your members. So wonderful. Thank you all. I'm going to ask you, I've missed the one poll. We're going to have two polls because we do have the time. So could you please bring up the question number 3? Have you recommended your Rotary Club to friends or family? Again, people who know what your interests are. Are you introducing them? Have you invited them? Yes or no? And so we're looking forward for that. I will be asking you another poll question following this, so we can get a feedback let us know what you're doing. And this also helps us on some of our other topics. Yes. Oh, wonderful. 94%. Really? That's great. So we should see growth. So do more of that. Could you please give me that 4th question? Do you feel that new and current members are integrated well into the club community? Again, talking about engagement, inclusivity. This is asking that question, something that we really need to be intentional about. So let's know what yes, absolutely. You've attempted to integrate, although you probably could do better. Well, if you put a plan together, you can do better. Plus, also find out what other clubs are doing. So thank you very much. It's been a very interesting evening. So much to share. I'd like to bring our panelists back because we still have a little time. And I want to ask a quick question for all of them. If you can hit them real quickly. What are because again, our host is going to talk about takeaways, but what exactly would you say specific processes or tools that you could put in place to keep a momentum and accountability alive, especially during officer transitions, because that's another thing that happens in some of our clubs. So these action plans often stall when club leadership changes. So what specific process or tools have you put in place or would you suggest? So Bruce, do you want to answer that real quickly?
Well, there'd be two things that I see. One of the things I ask my incoming presidents is to make a goal for each of the 4 priorities so that when they get into office, they're are able to start on that. The other one I think is to make sure you have a good committee structure in your club. Not everybody has to do everything, and don't use the 80-20 rule, but have enough committees that you can take care of all the work and engage a lot more people that way would be my answer.
Excellent. Thank you. Crystal?
In our transition, I think it's taking its course, but engaging in service, keeping the members that we have engaged and active in service. while the incoming president continues to prepare and for that transition, just making sure that we are focused. So we're actually doing more service projects between now and the end of June, so that the membership won't feel the transition or the change while allowing our incoming president to prepare for his term. So we have like a host of service projects and social events to keep everybody very, very engaged, that it's a smooth transition.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. PDG Amy.
You'll have to repeat part of the question because I was busy typing response to a question online.
So again, we're saying action plans stall in the transitions when you transition offices from one year to the next, and sometimes even in the middle of the year. What kind of what do you do to keep the momentum and accountability going?
You know, we struggle with this. It's not just at the club level. We struggle when we transition, like from membership chairs and governor lines, and you all recognize that. I think it's that continuous conversation, and then making sure that you actually do have a plan. And it's not that one-year plan. It's using and building that strategic plan, and that you're constantly communicating across all the years, and including the chair before you, the current, and what's incoming. And always I'm looking for that feedback and adapting.
Excellent. Thank you. You've been great panel. I really appreciate it. Enjoy the evening. I'm going to turn this over now to our PDG Demetrius Harrell, our Zone Rotary Membership Coordinator elect. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. What a fascinating conversation. This is wealth. This is knowledge, and this is power. This is the impact that we have around the world in our creativity and innovation. You know, when I think about intentional, it was intentional when this segment was established, because it says involving members. The way we grow, we must involve our members. We must collaborate with them. We must make sure that they are involved in decisions that help to impact and improve the outcomes of our clubs. And we said long-term commitment. Well, you know, wasn't it fascinating hearing Bruce say how he has created this vibrancy among new clubs, and especially companion clubs. Amy and I would love to see companion clubs in around our district. But one of the things that I heard is that he said, irresistible. Well, let's be irresistible, that people see us as infectious and we become a delight that everyone wants to spend time and great might. So grow through new members. And it was a question that was asked, and it stated, how and where did you find those new members? So you still have time to provide us some questions, even if we bring those to the next webinar. And we want to make sure that you do just like I said in the beginning. Invite individuals to our next webinar. Same place, same time, and same opportunity. But then Crystal was so transparent, and she showed us progression. Can you imagine being in the 20s and now in the 40s with 10 people waiting? I tell you what, Crystal, if they won't take them, we will. You know, that's the way we need to be, is intentional about bringing members. I love that PDG Amy said, have a heart for membership. Have a heart for people wanting to join in the action that we've proved to make change. When we talk about North America, we are seeing a decline in membership, and it requires us to do one simple thing, and that's ask the question, are you a member of Rotary? So let's engage, let's curate our plan, and let's recognize, because I heard that throughout the presentation, is recognize the people we already have sitting at the table. Let's not forget. And when we talk about diversity, we're talking about even within our clubs. Let's make sure our seniors know that they have a place and that they provide wisdom. And I want to close you out with this one simple idea, theory, and thought. You see, there was a question that was posed: how diverse is your membership? Young, old, and beyond. And that is not by age, because nothing gets old but clothes, but how much tenure have they had? Well, one member said, well, I wouldn't think it would be good for us to have younger people in our club. And the young lady spoke up and said, why? In my club, I have 100-year-old member. She said, where else would I get to meet someone that's 100 years of age? How could I share ideas, cultivate, and create theories of life and a perspective of having a great friend? Now, my best friend. Can you imagine a 24-year-old having a 100-year-old best friend? We need to think about the impact that we make through the members we have, and invite everyone to a seat at the table. Give them a tree of life. Wouldn't you want to expand your resume if it looked and felt as good as Rotary? 1.4 million Rotarians, Rotaractors around the world, and in North America, we are seeing decline. We must retain, we must sustain, but we must gain. So let's remember, give, grant, and generate. That's how we involve members in long-term commitment. I want to ask now our panelists to come back on, because I want you all to see the impact that we have had tonight. They have done a phenomenal job, moderator Adi. We cannot do this alone. So past District Governor Amy closed us out. Think about what she said. Crystal provided us insight and shared with us sometimes those not so easy conversations. But what it did, it provided us an open door of access. Isn't that what Rotary is supposed to be? And then, in conclusion, Bruce told us how to do it, how to make it work. So let's not forget, companion clubs have really restored growth for Rotary. Now, let's not forget those people that are working hard behind the scenes, and they have produced the opportunity for you to put in your questions, and make sure you scan the QR code and be right here the same time, the same place next month with a very powerful conversation. Now, I want to give you a little secret. We will have our incoming Rotary president on one of our calls very soon. So again, thank you. Have a wonderful night. And moderator, share your smiles and your delight. We appreciate you being a part of our Zone 25-29 webinar. Membership matters, and you do too. So let's get you to the stage. Thank you.